10 quick tips to improving your board's cybersecurity literacy. Boards of directors have an inescapable legal responsibility to protect their corporation's assets and shareholder value against business risks. But where does cybersecurity fit in the agenda? Many boards could improve the knowledge, awareness, and confidence to connect security to the business. We asked several experienced industry professionals to share their top tips on how to effectively interact with the board in order to bring security issues front and center. Tip number 1. Encourage boards to focus on risk, not security. Colin Anderson, Chief Information Security Officer at Levi Strauss, says, "Don't expect board members to talk in IT terms and understand the technical aspects of security. Instead, we should transfer this terminology into the business-oriented issues that are top of the mind. The key is to help them understand security is a business risk." Tip number 2. Provide context and comparison whenever possible. Boards want to know, how do we compare? What is the norm in the industry? This helps them get a sense of whether the organization is ahead of the curve or doing due diligence. Tip number 3. Develop key indicators or metrics that tell a story. They're easy to understand and can talk to business risk. Make this story relevant to your organization, such as a new major investment or a product launch, and address the risks associated with these plans. Tip number 4. Change how we think about cybersecurity. Larry Clinton, President and CEO of the Internet Security Alliance, suggests we use a metaphor that's easy to visualize. For example, say personal health. Nobody expects to live germ-free, but if we take proactive action, our systems are able to fight off these constant attacks. Eventually, we are going to get sick and get breached. So what doctor should we see? We need to have a plan to recuperate and move forward. Tip number 5. Change how you talk about cybersecurity. Locate the conversation within things that they care about. The board's main concerns include price-to-earnings ratios, mergers and acquisitions, new product launches, and partnerships. We need to put cybersecurity into the context of business in order for them to consider cybersecurity in the same sense they consider legal and financial decisions. Tip number 6. Use the National Association of Corporate Directors Handbook for reaching boards and senior managers. This is a great place to start, and has questions that boards and executives can ask and answer to help assess their level of preparedness. Tip number 7. Ensure there's a comprehensive data protection program in place. Colleen Brown, an associate at Sidley Austin LLP, strongly recommends documenting that your organization is reasonably addressing vulnerabilities and other security risks. This includes policies in writing, an incident response plan, and documentation, providing these policies have been tested. Tip number 8. Ensure the board is engaged in cybersecurity and develop a record of that engagement. This helps demonstrate the board was executing its judicial duties. It also highlights material risk and how it was being addressed by the enterprise. Tip number 9. Put resources in place ahead of time. Consider cyber insurance and pre-engaging with third-party service providers like forensics investigators, legal and outside counsel in advance. In the critical hours following an incident, there's no time to waste negotiating a contract. By having these resources ready to go in the event of a breach, you can devote more time to addressing and communicating the actual issue. Tip number 10. Lastly, use headlines as teachable moments. Dwayne Melanson, Tripwire Chief Technology Officer, suggests we use these recent issues and incidents to have the conversation of, if this were to happen to us, how prepared are we? Where are the gaps and how can we close them? Understanding cybersecurity is no small feat, but these approaches to educating and improving cybersecurity literacy among boards can help your enterprise take big steps towards a more prepared, confident, and secure organization.